I'm supposed to be home. Where am I? Why is there so much grass? Why are there trees? Where's the school library? Why are these people dressed so weird, ma'am? Hey, ma'am, can you tell me where I am? Ma'am, why are you dressed like that?
Who do you belong to? What are you doing? Are you playing some kind of game?
No, I just fell out of the sky. Did you not see me?
Out of the sky?
Yeah, out of the sky. I was in another world.
That's preposterous.
I know. I was in another world. It sounds ridiculous, but it's true. I'm just trying to. Am I home? Where am I?
I think you may have bumped your head. I think we should take you to the hospital over here. They'll help you.
You have hospitals in this world? So am I in my world? Where are we? Where are we right now? Ma'am, where are we right now?
You're in London, England.
That's not... No, oh, man.
Where are you supposed to be?
In St. Ivalis.
What is that?
It's my hometown. I was in a library, and this book, it threw me into another world called Ivalis, and I had to fight monsters and join a guild.
Come with me. Here, it's okay. It's okay. Come with me. Come with me. We'll go to the pretty hospital. We'll figure out where your parents are. Everything's going to be okay.
But this monster had one eye, and then...
There are no such things as monsters.
Giant cat people and sexy bunny ladies.
What? And you speak very inappropriately for a child.
Why are you so hoity-toity?
What is this hoity-toity?
Oh, we're gonna be here for a long time.
In the meantime, a lady and an Isekai enjoy peanut butter burgers.
Hello, welcome to anovelconsole, your weekly podcast where we talk about books, games, food, and stuff that caught our attention during the week. My name is Chris, and with me is my beautiful co-host and wife, Karen. I like that one. That one was kind of like an angelic choir.
Thank you. I am angelic, you know.
You are angelic looking.
I fell from the sky, not you.
Yeah. You sure you weren't pushed out of the sky?
Asshole.
Kicked out?
Shut up. Like Lil Nas X.
You finally saw that music video, didn't you?
I did. I had never watched the video. I was just going off of everything that everyone was saying. And then I finally watched it today, and I'm like, oh, that is something. But I still really love the song.
Well, is it your southern roots saying, oh, this is too much? Or is it actually...
No, it's just, it is a lot. But it's not like, oh, I shouldn't be watching this a lot. It's just like, okay, then.
I think it's a really cool video.
It is innovative, I guess you could say.
It's awesome. I think it's pretty fucking cool. So, what are we doing this week?
This week, we are struggling, as per usual.
But we are doing the
Patreon poll winner reviews.
Finally.
Review-ishes. They're not really full reviews because, we'll get into that.
Yeah, so let's address that first before we get into our intro. First off, I've been wanting to change the way that I do my games and stuff part because it just sounds like I'm reading the entire time. And
But you write really good things for it.
I know, but then I
You're
read
very
it
thorough.
and I read it word for word.
Yeah.
And it just sounds
we
like...
We deviate a lot more with mine than we do with yours.
So I want to do that with my parts. I have notes written out that I wanted to talk about, and we're just going to go ahead, touch each one, and we're going to have a conversation. Because that's originally what I wanted to do, a conversation, but then... You get on your phone and you stop paying attention, and then I'm just reading and reading and reading, and you never stop me, and then it just becomes a mess.
I'm sorry. Why are we airing out our dirty laundry on the podcast?
Because people need to know that you only pay attention to your phone and you don't love me.
Okay, cool.
But you know who loves me?
Our Patreon supporters and Luna.
And the big titty vampire girlfriend from Resident Evil 8.
Please.
It is so good. I've been playing. I played a little bit yesterday, and it is so freaking good.
That's another thing we talked about, how I need to go back to the thing that we did for like 2 episodes where I sat through every intro with him so I could at least give my feedback. Like watching the art style and stuff at least helped me throw out more discussion. I can't do that with these. I can't.
No, not with Resident Evil.
No.
But you might be able to do that with next week's episode because we did get a review key, our first review key for a game that we're going to be reviewing, and that's going to be Save Me, Mr. Taco Definitive Edition for the Switch. Cool. I played the original one when it came out a couple of years ago, and it was a really fun Game Boy style game about an octopus trying to bring an end to a war between humans and octopuses.
What the funk does that have to do with tacos? I didn't mean to say funk.
It's fine. We use too many dirty words. So taco, I think it's a Japanese word for octopus.
For reals?
I'm not 100% sure. I know takoyaki is like octopus filled.
It's disgusting.
It's delicious. It is amazing. It's so fucking good. I could eat some right now.
I could throw up thinking about it.
You just don't like the texture of the octopus.
The texture ruins it. It is. I can't even.
I would say the bonito flakes are kind of the hard part to get through because they smell so fishy. But oh my god, it's so good.
That sauce that they put on them looked really good, but that's no.
Yeah, it's like cream cheese and then eel sauce and it's so good. And we uploaded a TikTok today.
We did. We failed.
We fucked up.
We failed epic.
And you know why? It's because you let me finish it. You should have done it.
I should have done what?
The ending where you put the song on it. Because I put a 30-second song instead of a minute-long song. Yeah,
but we made a 35-second TikTok that we couldn't transfer to Instagram Reels because it doesn't go past 30 seconds.
So are you gonna say all of our TikToks now are gonna have to be 30 seconds long so they can fit on Instagram?
If you want them to go on Instagram, they're gonna have to be 30 seconds or shorter.
God, it's obnoxious. I hate TikTok so much. I hate Instagram Reels.
He finally downloaded TikTok, and now he falls into the time sink that I do with me.
Of just laying there with the sound off, just looking for.
I will never understand why you do that. Do any of you do that, where you watch videos on your phone with the sound off?
It's obnoxious. They usually
not everybody captions.
I don't care if they caption. They put stupid ass music or loud ass music or the obnoxious Siri voice, which we used in one of our videos. That was actually a really good video, which you guys should go look at. But
our shared room.
Yeah, our shared room, where we show.
It made it to Instagram.
Yeah, that one.
It was 30 seconds or shorter.
That one did. You know what wasn't 30 seconds or shorter?
Our Patreon supporters. I keep waiting for you to throw that in.
Yeah, we already did at the beginning.
Throw it in again. Come on. We got this.
Well, I don't know about their sexual performance. If it's under 30 seconds or...
Our mothers are on there.
Ew. Shouldn't have said that, Karen.
Well, I'm sorry.
Well, no, the White Castle line wasn't under 30 seconds. It was, 2 hours for both?
So for the dine-in line, it was 2.5 hours. For the drive-through, I think it was 3.5. I know it was more for drive-through than dine-in.
So we didn't even attempt it? We're going to try to do it?
We were like, can we just make a Yui right here? And he's like, why don't you make it a little bit further down the road? Because I'm afraid these cars are going to hit you. Because people are vicious when it comes to their fast food.
Yeah, so we're going to try to do it later at some point and hopefully be able to get in because that shit was not happening. And we also watched The Mitchells versus the Robots, the Machines.
The Machines, y'all. This is the best animated movie I think I have ever seen in my entire life. And that is coming from a die-hard Disney fan. If you have Netflix and you have not watched this movie yet, I implore you to pause this episode right now and go watch the movie and then come back.
It's a really good movie.
It's so good. We watched it with his aunt, and normally when we sit down and watch movies with her, we're all really bad and she'll fall asleep and we'll get up and leave when she falls asleep because it's normally something that none of us were really paying attention to. But hot damn, we were so invested.
This is Drug Aunt.
Yes, the one that we convinced we gave drugs to, but we didn't actually give drugs to. She'd kill us.
Or maybe we did.
We didn't.
She'll never know.
We didn't.
Well, nobody will ever know because that shit is out of our system by now. So it's a really funny movie. It is super funny.
It is kid appropriate, but I feel like it's very geared towards adults.
Yeah.
With the humor.
Yeah, because even the language is super kid appropriate.
Yeah. I think it's probably PG.
I don't know.
I doubt it's G, but PG
All I know
would make
it's
sense.
G and R.
Oh
The
my
rest
God.
in the middle, they don't do anything for me. So, but it's what it is. So, are you ready to go into book talk?
I think so.
All right. Just to let you guys know, this might be a really short episode.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get into book talk.
Okay, so this week's book is A Lady's Guide to Mischief and Mayhem by Amanda Collins. It was published on November 10th, 2020 by Forever Publishing, an imprint of Grand Central Publishing. Oh God. I'm just going to start by just reading the description to you because I'm not sure that I could give you a coherent synopsis myself. So, an intrepid female reporter matches wits with a serious, sexy detective and award-winning author Amanda I keep wanting to call her Amanda, but it's Manda Collins's fine and flirty historical rom-com, England, 1865. As one of England's most notorious newspaper columnists, Lady Catherine Bascombe believes knowledge is power, and she's determined to inform and educate the ladies of London on the nefarious and deadly criminals who are preying on the fairer sex. When her reporting leads to the arrest of a notorious killer, however, Catherine flees to a country house party to escape her newfound notoriety, only to witness a murder on her very first night. Gag me.
Wait, she escapes to a house party.
Yes, where she witnesses a murder.
Damn, that's a hell of a house party.
And it's 1865 house party.
Oh God, that sounds terrible and smelly.
And when the lead detective accuses Catherine of inflaming rather than informing the public with her column, she vows to prove him wrong. Detective Inspector Andrew Eversham's refusal to compromise his investigations nearly cost him his own career, and he blames Catherine. To avoid bad publicity, his superiors are pressuring him to solve cases quickly rather than correctly. When he discovers she's the key witness in a new crime, he's determined to prevent the beautiful widow from once again wreaking havoc on his case. Yet, as Catherine proves surprisingly insightful and Andrew impresses Catherine with his lethal competency, both are forced to admit the fire between them is more flirtatious than furious. But to explore the passion between them, they'll need to catch a killer. I fucking hate mysteries, okay?
All right, so let me just say, when I heard the name A Lady's Guide to Mischief and Mayhem, I thought it was going to be a funny book about a Regency or whatever the hell era is type of lady just not conforming to society's rules and just being
like Jane Austen.
A pain in the ass making fun of everybody.
Like Jane Austen.
But more raunchy.
Yes.
Like what is it, like a Victorian Hangover, and it's all female.
Oh God!
I would watch that actually. I think that would be very funny.
It would be funny. We should write it.
We should and have it stolen from us by somebody.
Oh God! So yeah, I was obviously supposed to read my physical copy of this book for this review. I started, and I promptly put it away because it was boring as fuck. And I started listening to the audiobook because I can at least listen to it at 2 times the speed and get through it faster. But once I lose interest, I tend to DNF. I know we've talked about this before. I do not finish. I am notorious for my DNFing practices. The moment I really stop feeling it, I will normally DNF. I'll try to skim. If I can make it through the whole book with skimming, I have won. But you can't really skim an audiobook. You can skip chapters if you really want to, but I basically did that mentally because I tuned the fuck out. I couldn't tell you, I couldn't have told you that was what this book was actually about.
Really?
Not at this point. It's been like a week now since I finished it, and as soon as I finished, out of my mind.
Wow, that is terrible.
I do know that the sex scenes were not great.
Before we started recording, you were saying something about them. You were saying that they were awkward?
They were awkward.
How?
There was a lot of, like, untying her corset and how she looked in her pantaloons. And, like, I've been reading a lot of historical romance lately, and there are ways to make those things sound more sensual.
And appealing?
Yeah. And it's done very, very well in some circumstances, but I couldn't get into this one. I just couldn't do it. The dialogue was awkward and stilted. That's one of my biggest things. If you have awkward dialogue, I can't focus. I completely detach myself. And that's kind of what I did here. It was a very disappointing experience, to say the least, especially since this was a book that I was given for free to review. But they appreciate honesty, and I gave it a solid 2 stars.
Oh boy, we're not even done discussing and we already have a score.
Yeah.
So, what? Oh boy, it just sounds like a mess. I don't even want to put my hands into it. So what?
It was just boring.
What about the characters? They, at least in that description, they sound like they're smart or they're entertaining.
I wouldn't say they're stupid, but they're also just, I don't know. I felt like they were both very surface. I didn't feel like I ever got to know either one of them.
So they were just one-dimensional?
Yeah. That's how I interpreted it, at least.
So this is something that a professor of mine in school told me that I was wrong about. You remember when I had to watch Othello?
Yes.
So I didn't watch all of it. I watched like 20 minutes and I was out.
That's nothing.
I was out. And the professor wanted us to like write our opinions on this stupid ass play.
Isn't it Shakespeare?
Yeah.
Thought so.
So
I read it in college.
I wrote in my opinions, like, this does nothing for me. This is the most boring thing that I've ever had to sit through. I only watched 20 minutes and it boils down to exactly what every single other Shakespeare thing I've ever watched. Characters are one-dimensional in eternal suffering. They're rich and their problems are stuff that only matter to them, and this is just fucking terrible, and I hated every single fucking second that I watched. The professor later emailed me and said, no, the characters are not one-dimensional. You just have to give it more time and
but
pay
it's all
more
up
attention.
to your interpretation, too.
And I told her, it's like, I can't. Like, this guy is a general in the Navy, and he got promoted over somebody else. And because he's black, the other person is like, oh, I'm going to take his wife and kill her, and I'm going to destroy his career.
Oh,
but
yeah,
I'm
I totally forgot that was the plot line of
Othello. I'm going to pretend that I'm his best friend, but I'm really just going to fuck him over the entire time. It's like,
right.
Who gives a fucking shit? I mean, God.
Please don't tell me you said that to your professor.
No, I told her.
Who gives a fucking shit?
No, I told her, it's like, I don't care. I could not care less. This is terrible. This is the worst thing that I've ever experienced in my entire life.
Yeah, because, I mean, as long as you can back up your claims, like I said, it's all up to your interpretation. If you think they're one-dimensional and you can tell me why you think they're one-dimensional, you know.
So, to me, it felt like the only thing Othello had going for him was that he was black.
Poor Othello.
The rest of it was an eternal drama of everything in the world hates me, even though I'm going up in ranks in the army. I mean, seriously?
Part of me wonders if I should try to go back to Shakespeare because I hated it so much when I was required to read it. I wonder if I would feel differently about it now. I don't know. But then I would, like, never put myself through the torture of reading something like Heart of Darkness again. Oh my God. Shoot me in the face. Shoot me.
I just remembered something.
What?
There's a game called Heart of Darkness.
Is it based on Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness?
No, but it is a terrible game.
Something on the Congo. I couldn't even tell you what that book was about. I finished it and I was like, I literally can't tell you anything about this book. Nothing. But it was required reading, so I couldn't DNF it, just like this. Just tune out, zone out, go into my happy place.
Technically, a Lady's Guide to Mischief and Mayhem wasn't required reading. You could have DNF'd it and just said it was so bad that I couldn't finish.
You're shitting me.
I didn't finish the game. I got close, but I didn't finish. So
I'm mad now. That's okay. I added another tally mark to my monthly wrap-up for this month.
And it's been a while since you've gotten a terrible book that we've gotten to talk about.
Yeah, that we've talked about. I've read some real doozies here lately.
Like, what's it called? Bridgerton?
Oh, God. But the second book is actually pretty good, so don't take my word for the first one as for the whole series.
Okay. That's something that can be done. So I just need to know more about this book because so far what you gave me was like that synopsis, and you've told me you couldn't pay attention to it. The characters were all one-dimensional. Yeah,
you can go listen to it. I still have it on my app.
No, I'm not going to listen to it. It's your job to tell me and the listeners why this book is so terrible.
It's terrible because I zoned out and I couldn't focus on it. That's why. It's just, I know it's not logical. I just didn't like it.
Okay, Valley.
No, I've just read such really, really, really good historical romance here lately, some of which had little mysterious elements. That's another thing. I just really don't like reading mystery, thriller. If it's like a very small like subplot woven into a genre that I like fantasy or historical romance or contemporary romance, stuff like that, I can stomach it for the most part. Then I start thinking about 50 Shades of Grey. Blech.
Why?
Because there was mystery. She had her stalker, person.
It's terrible.
Yeah. That was another thing that I came across this week. So, one of my friends from high school shared this thing on Facebook, movies that are coming out in the near future. And she's like, oh, I didn't even know they were making some of these. And the very first poster is for Midnight Sun. It's just a photo of Bella as a vampire taken from one of the Breaking Dawn movies. I'm like, this post is not legit. Some of it is, because it's stuff like Cruella, things like that we know are being made into movies. But y'all, Midnight Sun, Bella would not be a vampire because it's only the events of the book Twilight, not the whole series. The first book.
Robert Pattinson.
From Edward's point of view, they're so much older now, they'd have to be CGI'd the fuck out.
They're not going to return to this shit.
But honey, Midnight Sun would literally be making the same fucking movie. Because it's just from his point of view. So we would need, like a Peter Jackson extra scenes take. But not the whole movie. Because it's the same fucking movie. I'm like, you people obviously didn't read the book. The ones that are circulating this post, come on.
That's terrible. I think if you were able to handle like aliens and
I'm reading a book about aliens
supernatural
right now.
stuff, but like that's rooted in something that actually did happen, that I think you would really like Mothman Prophecies.
Isn't that conspiracy theory shit? That stuff that actually happened? I can't handle that.
Supposedly it actually happened.
I can't handle that.
But the way that
I'll start freaking myself out.
The way that because you think it's going one way, and the way that it like unravels itself at the end is completely unexpected, and it just turns out to be something so ordinary and every day that this whole
the people just thought were extraterrestrial.
No. Like the they serve a purpose, and the Mothman serves a purpose, and everything. And the way that it unravels itself is just like this can happen anywhere, and the aliens were just there to serve a purpose, and nobody paid attention because they were asking too many questions. It's a really good book. I really enjoyed it when I read it. I actually kind of want to reread it again and maybe review it in a reverse episode. But if you could handle aliens and stuff, I think you would like it. It's a thriller, but it's a good book. It's been made into a movie. I think I want to watch the movie too.
I'm reading an alien book right now.
What's it about?
It's called Dawn by Octavia Butler. I think it was
Let me
originally...
guess. The aliens are sexy.
No, they're covered in tentacles and shit.
So it's hentai.
No, it's like Medusa tentacles.
Oh.
She keeps comparing them to Medusa. But basically...
Medusa or a Medusa?
Medusa.
Okay, so it's not the jellyfish.
Right. I think this book was published a while back. I can't remember if Octavia Butler is still alive. I should probably look that up. But, so apparently Earth has been ravaged by war. I still don't know what that war was or like the extent of what happened. But she wakes up basically in a chamber where she knows that they've like done things to her, and there's like a voice in her head talking to her. We eventually find out that she had cancer that the aliens like removed, and they're using it for their own purposes. But basically they're like, they killed all the bad people who were on Earth and took some of the good ones, and if, I don't know, like, kind of sort of fused with them in a way, not really, given them parts of themselves basically to go back and make a new Earth from the ground up. I'm not very far. I'll let you know when I finish.
Huh. It sounds kind of interesting, like a fucking make-believe alien thing.
It's pretty cool.
So it's not rooted in something that happened, right? Like Fire
like
in
your
the
Mothman
Sky.
stuff.
Mothman and Fire in the Sky?
No.
Fire in the Sky would freak the fuck out of you. That
I can't read things that make me freak out. No.
Yeah, like Dad was... I was talking to Dad about Mothman prophecies a while back. He was telling me about Fire in the Sky. And I had heard about the case in Fire in the Sky. And he told me, it's like, once it got to the scene where he's laying on the table and the aliens are over him, I was out. And I was like, oh, yeah, I know which one you're talking about now. That is pretty fucking creepy. So.
I mean, there's just no way. There is no way that we are the only things out there. There's no way.
See, the thing is, if you listen to...
But I can't think about it too much or I'm going to freak out.
If you listen to like all these stories about people telling the stories of their encounters, they all sound almost exactly the same. And the little details, which is what gives them away from the real, from the fake ones, the ones that are reals have the exact same little details.
Like what?
So sounds they hear, smells they perceive, things they see out of the corner of their eyes, like feelings they get, stuff like that.
I'm going to dream about aliens tonight.
It's
and
fine.
You're going to have to hold me when I wake up.
It's fine. We're making good content talking about this.
So
we're supposed to be talking about this lady being a detective.
It was crappy. This is more interesting. This is fine. So, as long as they aren't xenomorphs, then they could be worse than xenomorphs, though.
Yeah. So these, you can... If you listen to enough of these stories, you can tell which ones are real and which ones aren't.
That's
based
so freaky.
On what they say. And having these hundreds of thousands of stories saying this almost the exact same thing with these details, like...
But do they say the same thing because they've all heard the stories and know what to say?
No, they all differentiate in many ways. And like a lot of Bigfoot encounters. I was walking in the forest. I started smelling something dead. Everything got quiet. I start hearing stuff behind me. I turn a corner, look around, and there's a Bigfoot staring at me.
Have you ever heard a panther?
What's that?
Like a black panther, the noises they make? Like a woman screaming?
Weren't you saying that was a mountain cat?
It's some kind of cat. It is the most horrifying thing I have ever heard in my life.
I'm sure it is. I don't
horrifying.
I hear a cat screaming in the roof is bad.
I grew up like basically in the middle of the woods, so far away from town, so far away from any neighbors, and to like just walk out to the backyard to take the trash out to the trash can. No, sir.
Yeah,
no,
trash
sir.
can stay in the driveway.
Yep, my trash can sit at the back door.
let the
and to think I used
to
run down the property to hide with boys in the middle of the night. It didn't bother me then. I have to take the trash out. Fuck no. That's too scary.
So getting back to the point that I wanted to see, like all these hundreds of thousands of stories being so similar and having like these details being the same, it kind of gives that credibility of, yeah, something is happening, something's out there and whatnot. And if people want to listen to a good aliens podcast, listen to Believe. It's about Australian encounters, because apparently Australia is like a hotbed for this shit. That's a good podcast. It's so good.
Is New Zealand a hotbed? Being so close?
Maybe. I think they do have stories.
We're going to have to wear our tin hats when we go.
Aluminum foil.
Excuse me, aluminum foil hats when we go.
Yeah. Either way, that won't protect us from a Bigfoot or a shadow person.
Or Sauron.
All right, so you're ready for the score?
I already gave it.
What's the score?
2 stars.
So 2 stars to A Lady's Guide to Mischief.
Yeah,
and
I feel
Mayhem.
really bad when I give out my 1 stars. I like to save those for like the books that I think deserve to be thrown on a fire. And I think people could enjoy this book. Honestly, I know that people can enjoy my 1-star books too. I'm just not a Nora Roberts fan. But I know a lot of people are. But Nora Roberts, I would burn on the fire.
Would you say that this book would be a good baby's first?
No.
No?
No. No.
Or like a teenager's first?
No. It's not appropriate for teenagers.
I mean, neither was the shit you were reading when you were in high school. But
hey, I mean, I was looking on Goodreads and like it's got some good reviews, but it's also got some really bad reviews. Real bad.
All right. So I guess that's it for this section. So let's go ahead and get...
Book Talk and Aliens. Our new section.
Book Talk and Aliens. That's great. All right. So let's go ahead and get into games and stuff. Alright, so for this week's game, we have Final Fantasy Tactics A2, Grimoire of the Rift. Developed and published by Square Enix. It was released in June 24th, 2008 for the Nintendo DS. This is a sequel to Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. That was obviously a Final Fantasy Tactics game made for the Game Boy Advance. This is a tactical game. This stuff, man, this is... It's time consuming. That's the best way that I can describe this game. But let me just get into it a little bit. Tactics follows a young man named Luso Clemens after he is transported through a magical book to the world of Evilis. Rescued from monsters by a clan leader named Sid and later joined by the thief Adele, Luso becomes involved in battles between rival clans as he seeks a way home. So it's basically, you have this book, which is the book that took you to the world of Evilis, and you have to fill it out with your adventures so that eventually it leads you home.
I mean, that sounds kind of cool.
It's really cool. Thing is that with these advanced games, the first one was kind of the same thing. You get transported to Evilis as well. And the adventure is basically that, just trying to get back home. I feel like this game did a lot of things great, but it also did a lot of things bad.
Like what?
Like very, very bad. We'll get to that. Let's go ahead and start with the graphics. So the graphics in the game are beautiful. They're sprite-based. All the characters look entirely different from each other. You have your usual humans, your sexy bunny women.
What?
Sexy bunny women, yeah. Your Moogles, which are like cat-dog hybrids that are magic. And you have ones that look like lizards. So it's really cool fantasy monsters and stuff.
Cat dog with magic.
A cat dog with magic. It's like a cat mixed with a dog that has
I think
magic.
about cat dog.
No, it's not
with
like
magic.
It's not like it has a head growing out of its ass. No, it's like
an idiot with magic.
not dog. It's not dog.
Bless it.
Yeah. Anyways, all the characters look completely different. The races and everything. They all look like they fit into this world. They're all fantasy dressed. They're all regal and shit. They look really cool. The overworlds, they're very detailed. So when you look at the battle maps, you actually get to see like all the grass doesn't just look like a plain green field. Like it's all hand drawn. So you can make apart every single leaf of grass apart from each other by the way that they were drawn. And all same for the flowers, the trees, they all have their marks on the woods. The leaves are all individually drawn. It is a very pleasing game to look at.
And this stuff is linked to Kingdom Hearts, right?
No.
No.
Final Fantasy is linked to Kingdom Hearts. Final Fantasy Tactics is not.
Why?
It's a spin-off of Final Fantasy. Yeah. The animations, they all look amazing. I saw one today that's called Doom, which is they inflict your character with Doom. He has 3 turns to live. If by the 3rd turn you haven't been cured of Doom, your character dies. The way that it happens is a white orb comes out of him. And this Grim Reaper looking monster starts flying around the screen until it grabs the orb, grabs it, and flies away, and your character dies. That looks really cool because it's so fluid and it's so well animated that it's impressive that it's on a DS with graphics that look like Game Boy Advances, but better. The attack animations, they're all fluid, they're all cool. The magic animations as well, you would cast magic. Let's say you cast thunder. It looks like an actual bolt of thunder fell from the sky and landed on your enemy. Like, with the sound and everything.
Do you mean the bolt of lightning?
Yes.
You don't have bolts of thunder.
I have bolts of thunder.
You have booms of thunder. Wait, what? Did you just say you have balls of thunder?
It took you a while.
Oh, dear.
But yeah, same with the ice. The ice, you see an icicle like pop out of the ground and just impale your enemy.
Yikes.
It has a lot of cool, violent looks, but because
cool
it's...
and violent.
Yeah. So it's really, really nice. The sound design for the game, it's great. The music is medieval. So you have like lots of flutes and string instruments and heavy drums. Not like a drum kit, but like,
yeah,
boom, boom, boom,
yeah,
stuff like that.
Like Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
Drums in the deep.
Yes, but a little
Boom.
bit more fantasy than Middle-earth-ish.
Middle Earth is fantasy.
But it's gotten to the point where if you hear a song from Lord of the Rings, you can tell immediately it's Lord of the Rings because it has this unique Lord of the Rings sound to it.
Okay.
This one is more, run-of-the-mill fantasy.
Fairy. No?
Ren Fair.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. The attacks, with your sword strikes, your bow strikes, everything, they sound pretty standard, pretty normal. The magics do sound pretty cool. Like, the fire attacks do sound like somebody just turned on a flamethrower. The thunder sounds like actual thunder. The ice just sounds like glass being shattered. It sounds very crisp and clear coming from the DS speakers, which is, again, very impressive that they can get such clear sound coming out of it. It just speaks volumes of how dedicated the team at Square Enix was at making the sound for the game. Which I noticed that some of the sounds were reused from the original Final Fantasy Tactics for the PlayStation 1, which I talked about a couple of weeks ago on the games that we were currently enjoying. I was actually playing the PSP version that week. But anyways, the gameplay, it's a tactical RPG. So can you tell me what you think a tactical RPG is?
Role-playing game. No.
Yes, role-playing game, but what's the tactical part of it?
Weapons.
No, that's part of the RPG elements.
Your gaming tactics.
Did you give up?
Yes.
Okay, so the tactical part actually makes it so that your battlefield is a grid of squares, right? and you move your characters in those squares, and you attack characters that are near to the attack squares that you have. So it's basically chess, but with killing.
You can actually see these squares on the screen?
Yeah. You had like the squares laid out on the screen. When you're about to move, you see the amount of squares you can move. When you get to your attack, you can see the amount of squares that you can actually attack into and stuff like that.
Is this a pixelated game?
Yes, it's sprite-based.
Sprite-based means pixelated.
Yes, it's pixels, yeah.
Huh.
But let me turn it on so you can see it, so you can see how pretty it actually looks, because it's just so nice to look at. So it's a tactical RPG. So basically, think chess. You have your characters.
Checkers.
Or checkers. You have your 6 characters in a field. The computer has their own enemies that you have to kill. Not always do you have to kill enemies. Sometimes it's just find a specific item. Once you find that specific item, the battle's over. If you fought, your characters gain levels, gain experience, and they can grow to become stronger, which it's standard fare. There are ways to make your characters gain new abilities, and it's by equipping weapons, which is one of the problems that I had with the game, because nowhere does it say that if you equip this weapon and you're under this class, you are going to earn this ability. This is something that I had to learn on my own, and it took me around 8 hours to figure that out. And
that's a long time.
Yeah, and the thing is that the characters have these things called jobs, where you can actually switch the jobs, so that you have, let's say, your basic warrior, you can turn him into a knight, or you have a bowman and you can turn him into a hunter, or you have a white mage and you can turn them into a green mage. The way that you do that is by gaining specific skills, and then once you got those specific skills, the new job opens up so you can use it. Which, again, I that wasn't explained at all, and it was kind of a pain in the ass to figure it out. Apart from that, you do get to complete quests around the world where, you would go to the pub. They have a list of quests. You can get up to 15 quests. Some are time sensitive, some aren't. And like I said, some are go here, get this item, come back. Some are come here, kill this amount of enemies, come back. And that's pretty much it. The gameplay is just really, really basic, run-of-the-mill strategy tactic RPG. It's a good game.
It doesn't look anything like I pictured.
No, what did you picture?
I pictured your Final Fantasy pictures that I've seen before. I pictured Kingdom Hearts.
No.
I pictured sexy anime people, tall and skinny.
No, not sexy
They're
anime
like
people.
teeny tiny little bean people.
Well, the main character, Luso, he's like 12 years old, so... But then there's also sexy tall bunny ladies, so...
That's so weird.
Yeah. So the game does have problems, like I said. The major problem is just that one. It took so long for me to figure out how to get new jobs, how to get new abilities, and it's just equip this weapon. Even though it has lower stats than your other weapons, it's going to give you an ability if you use it a certain amount of times. That I really didn't like that at all. In the previous Final Fantasy Tactics game, at least the one for the PSP and PlayStation 1, you would equip a job and you would get job points for every time that you would attack or kill an enemy. You would get some amount of job points. Those job points, you would input them into the abilities that you wanted to have. So let's say that you wanted to learn how to throw items. You would have to become a cleric, alchemist, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Then you would have to get, let's say, 15,000 job points so that you can learn how to throw items. Once you would learn that, you can change to whatever other class you would like. You would equip that job ability specifically, and then you can throw items to anyone you would like on the field.
See, this is why I would never... This is why I can't get into it. It's so complex, my brain just doesn't follow all of that.
It sounds very complicated. It's really not once you practice it and you get your hands on it like a couple of times. But this specific one for this review, it was very complicated. I like I said, 8 hours, and I didn't figure it out till...
What age group is this designed for?
This one, I think this is T, if I'm not mistaken. No, it's E, actually. It's for
What?
everyone, 10 and up. So
10 and up is supposed to figure that out.
Well,
I mean, like, 15 and down?
What was that? I think I was like 11. No. I was 12 or 13 when I played the original Final Fantasy Tactics. And it took me months to figure out what the confirmation button was.
That's so annoying.
That
would drive me nuts.
The confirmation button. The button to say yes.
You're kidding me.
No.
No.
No, not kidding.
No. No.
That one
just turned me off completely.
That one is very complicated, and that one does have some random pieces of bullshit all coded all throughout it, but
nope.
It is a great game once you get into it. And
is it?
Yeah, it actually really is. Yeah, it's good. It's really fucking good.
I'll take your word for it.
And the story is insane. So think Game of Thrones before Game of Thrones, and add more backstabbing into it.
More?
Yeah.
You can't have more backstabbing in Game of Thrones.
Yeah. More. Way more. Oh my god, it's so good. So yeah, problems with the game, that's the only problem that I really have. I do also kind of find annoying that you can only take up to 15 quests at a time. And that's annoying because, you have 15 quests, you have, let's say 30 on the board at the pub that you want to take so you can go complete all of them. But no, you have to do the 15 or one or two, go back, get more, couple more, go back, get more. And a lot of them are locked by your clan standing, which is the level your clan is at in the entire world of that one Final Fantasy game.
Do you really factor into that at all?
What?
Do you determine your clan standing?
No. You have to level up your some fields that you have, like adaptation and persuasion and stuff like that. And you can do those by taking some challenges where you go to a judge. The judge will tell you this is what you have to do. If you can do it within the certain time limit, then you pass. If not, then you did it. And that's another thing. The judges are these beings that appear every time there's going to be a fight in this world. And they say, these are the rules for this encounter. You cannot do this or we will penalize you. Most of the time, if you do this, the way you get penalized is you don't get the bonuses at the end of the fight. And if your character dies, you can't revive them.
Ew.
Yeah. So this is something that they added in the previous Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced game. Thing is that back then they didn't tell you exactly what you had to do. They gave you like an inkling, but they didn't say specifically, don't use magic or don't use range attacks. Or if you attack, you cannot cause any knockback to the opponent, which is pushing back a square. So I like that they did that, but the game did have a couple of issues, which were basically just the job progression and the ability progression and having a small amount of quests. But the rest of the game is pretty solid, which brings me to the praises. The game looks beautiful. The game plays great. I feel like there's a constant growing in level and strength for your party members. It doesn't feel like you have these characters that you always have one that's stronger than the rest of them, which that happened to me a lot in the original Final Fantasy Tactics. You will have a party of 6 that you take into battle every time, which you can swap out. And most of the characters stay constantly around the same levels so that whenever you go into a fight, everybody's going to be able to pull their own weight and you don't have to be babysitting any of your other characters. So that
it's like
level,
a group project.
Exactly. That level progression feels great in this game. And I really, really like that. Apart from that, it is just a whole solid experience. It is a typical Final Fantasy experience. It's very geared towards children. compared to what the original Final Fantasy
It looks
Tactics
kind
game
of
was.
cute and almost like fairy gnomey. I don't know.
Yeah.
It looks like it's for a little kid, which concerns me that it takes you so long to figure things out.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm questioning your intelligence.
Well, I've been wanting to play this game for a while, and while I was playing it, it just doesn't explain anything. I mean, you have to figure these stuff out
And
on your
get
own.
needing to figure things out on your own, because I understand that that's half the fun with these games. But Jesus Christ, if it takes you a month to figure something out,
That was in
that's
the
kind
original
of
game.
a lot.
That was in the original game.
I know, but
that
still,
game was
that's a lot.
brutal. That
That's a
game was
lot.
fucking brutal.
That's why I get so frustrated and I give up.
See, another thing that I hated about this game that I forgot. This game is slow. It is fucking slow.
I just clicked through like 50 bajillion prompts and I'm like, okay, I'm over it. Like, I'm not even moving. I kept trying to move and it's not letting me move.
Yeah.
What the hell?
So the thing is that I love Fire Emblem.
Yes.
I play a lot of Fire Emblem.
On the toilet.
On the toilet, 4 hours.
Yes.
This game doesn't have the option to speed up the enemy turns or speed up the phases of combat and whatnot, like Fire Emblem does. So it just feels like a very slow game because the enemy's moving. Okay, the enemy is choosing. Okay, the enemy is attacking. Okay, the enemy is choosing which way he wants to face when he's done with his
What the
turn.
hell?
So it's a lot of that. It's not terrible. It's great. It's just a couple of tweaks would have made this game amazing. Well, it's amazing. It would have made it perfect. So overall, I didn't finish the game. I am going to finish the game because it is a great, great game. I'm like 38 hours into it, and the game is like 45, and I'm trying to get everything. And I am definitely going to finish this game because this game is just plain fun. It's a good game, to play maybe 1 or 2 fights before you go to bed. And I think that's how I'm going to treat it from now on. Just 1 or 2 fights before I go to sleep.
Sounds like a good strategy. Strategy.
Until I finish it. I already jumped ahead and read what happens in the end of the game, and it's pretty normal. Person gets whisked away into another world type of story. So
sounds like a lot of my books, getting whisked away into another world, an alien world.
Yeah. So this game gets. I don't want to give it 5 because it had things that annoyed me.
3.5.
Fuck, no, that's too low.
4.25.
4.5.
4.5?
4.5.
Okay.
Yeah, I can do 4.5 because...
That's solid.
Yeah, it's a very solid game. It just has a couple of things that are annoying. But once you figure it out, the whole experience is just one complete package. It is just wonderful. You guys did really good with my pick for this Patreon.
Yeah, I'm not putting my livelihood in your hands again.
Oh, we have to do another one. 2 months from now, we're doing another one after not Zelda month.
I'm going to very carefully choose the books that they get to choose from.
For August, we're picking stuff.
MegaCon month!
So yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into garbage.
Give me the garbage.
What was that?
Give me the garbage.
All right, that is Give Me the Garbage.
This week's restaurant is Teak Neighborhood Grill in Orlando and Maitland. We visit the Orlando location.
Yeah, every time we go to the Maitland one, it's...
We're disappointed in some way, shape, or form. But basically, this is a place that he discovered before we met, and he introduced me to in maybe not the best way.
So, long story short, I moved here from Puerto Rico. I was hanging out with my aunt one day. We drove by it. And she said, that place has really good burgers. I always went there after work when I worked at the call center. I was like, okay, cool.
Let's go.
One day we went. I enjoyed it. Then I started working in Repo. And every single night after I finished my shift, I would go to Teak.
Every night?
Every night.
You're shitting me.
I made really good money doing Repo.
Every night?
Every night.
How do you could have saved that money? Jesus Christ.
I was making like $1,500 a week, so.
Let's go back to Repo.
No. The bad times were terrible.
Oh.
So I would go there, have 3 pints of beer, a burger, finish up my paperwork, and go home, sleep,
Jeez.
rinse and repeat every day.
What a man.
No, I love teeth so much. This is my favorite place to eat ever.
So unfortunately, he introduced me to it in takeout and the donut burger.
I got the donut burgers.
I don't know if we had established yet that I don't like donuts. It was very early on in our relationship.
Right. Yeah.
I was not impressed at all. Not to mention it was soggy as fuck.
Yeah. The donut.
We got it to go.
The donut burger is 2 glazed donuts, and in between it has an 8-ounce patty with cheddar cheese and bacon.
You remember.
Of course I remember.
Jeez.
It is an amazing donut burger. It's one of the best donut burgers ever.
It's awful.
No, it's not. It's delicious.
It's awful. So they do have a massive burger menu. They have so many burgers that 1 month a year, isn't it in like September maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Every day for the whole month they do a different burger for $5. And you should totally watch that when it comes time and go try the burgers that you want to try. Because there are so many. Like I said, the whole fucking month of September, there's a different burger every single day that's going to be discounted. But our favorites, I think I can speak for both of us, is the one that I had on this most recent trip. The Boulder Betty burger.
Before we get into the burgers, we need to talk about the entrees. I mean, the starters. The starters.
I was about to say, that is an entree.
No.
Okay, so we have our go-to appetizers when it comes to teak. Now, one of these is one that I had to, really warm him up to, and that is the OMG teak chips.
Yes.
So basically, they're house-made potato chips covered in a balsamic vinaigrette drizzle, blue cheese, and bacon bits. But when I say bacon bits, they're real fucking bacon bits, not from a shaker. Yeah, no,
they make everything with real bacon here.
Those chips are so crispy, and they're not greasy. I think that's, the most impressive part to me, that they're house-made, but they're not greasy.
Yeah. It is impressive that they can get these to be so crunchy and drizzle them with the balsamic, which is vinegar. And vinegar destroys whatever it touches. They
do get a little bit chewy if you let them sit there too long with the vinegar.
If you let them sit there too long, yeah, but
it's still fine.
Yeah.
It still
See,
tastes
the thing
really
I
good.
hated about them originally was that the vinaigrette, sometimes they overdo it.
Yeah.
And sometimes they overdo it with the blue cheese. So if you get
you can never overdo it with the blue cheese.
If you get I beg to differ. I've heard you say this is way too much.
Okay, yeah, but not this time. It was perfect.
So if you get a big bite out of the 2, you'll be like, I don't want to eat this anymore. And the second one is my favorite one, is the loaded pierogies. These are... The pierogi is basically a Russian potato stuffed ravioli.
A potato ravioli.
Covered in Alfredo sriracha sauce.
I thought they were... Are they Russian?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Russians eat them.
I thought they were German or Polish or something.
I thought they were Russian.
Oh God! What is the origin of the pierogi?
Who cares?
We're gonna offend somebody. Oh God!
So they have Alfredo sriracha over it, and they're covered in crispy onions
and more bacon bits.
And more bacon bits, which
bacon.
I love.
And
crispy
chives,
onions.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Basil.
I thought it was
oregano?
chives.
I think it might have chives too. Anyways, it is delicious. It is amazing, and everybody that has tried them falls in love with them.
They're so good. It's like the ravioli of your dreams.
Mm-hmm.
The ravioli of your potato dreams.
So you want to talk about the Boulder? Is it the Boulder? Yeah, the Boulder Betty.
Yeah, the Boulder Betty.
Yeah.
Can you remind me what comes on that burger?
So, again, to emphasize how perfect provolone is. The Boulder Betty is provolone cheese, smoked bacon mayo, tomato, avocado coleslaw, and crispy tortilla strips drizzled with guava barbecue sauce.
Yo, that guava barbecue sauce is the stuff of my dreams.
Served on a brioche bun.
Yes. So this burger is rather large, as you can probably imagine, based on how many things are on it.
I think most of their burgers are 8 ounces, which...
They're huge.
With everything else, it makes it a pretty hefty burger.
You gotta smoosh it.
Yeah.
But basically, all of those flavors work so well together. My favorite parts of the Boulder Betty are probably that guava barbecue sauce and the tortilla chips. I know that sounds weird, but that crunch and the coleslaw, oh, I don't know what it is about those two textures coming together, but dear God, these burgers, I have never tasted beef seasoned so perfectly before in my life. It is so juicy. It is so flavorful. It is, I don't even know. I feel like I could order it well done and it would still be juicy as fuck.
It's so good. The meat just tastes like meat, like delicious
and
burger meat.
And the bun is so warm and toasty and just, the crunch. The crunch is perfection.
Yeah. So I had the peanut butter burger. I'm trying to get the correct name, but I'm an idiot, and I forgot that this is part of the secret menu.
Way to go! He's always ordering secret menu items.
So they have a secret menu. So basically, you just go to their socials, get the password. Once the server comes, tell them the password, and they'll get you the secret menu, which is this cool box that you get to open and everything. And the peanut butter burger is in there. Is same patty. I think it has provolone, potato chips. It has peanut butter, and it has the jelly. Usually when you order a peanut butter burger, the jelly is either strawberry or grape. This one is orange.
That sounds awful.
It sounds terrible, but it's so freaking good.
Now, he swears by this burger. I finally tried it last time. I just can't do it. I can't.
See,
I can't do it.
The thing is, like, it works in 2 levels, because I was getting a bite of both, the peanut butter and the jelly at the same time, and it's okay, but it really works when you eat them separate. When you eat the peanut butter, that creaminess with the cheese and the beef juices just works perfectly. It's smooth, sweet, savory. It is just a typical peanut butter burger bite. So it's great. Once you bite into the jelly part, because it is bitter, because it's not as sweet, it just takes the juices from the burger and just amplifies them and makes them more rich. I don't know how to explain it, but it works so well once you bite them separate. And it also kind of works like a palate cleansing from all the smooth richness of the peanut butter. So I think it's a genius burger. I think this is...
I think it's nasty.
I think this is the best peanut butter burger I've ever had, and it's just so simple. It is super simple. It works so fucking good. So we also had a couple of things because we decided to go for dinner recently, and we had what was that salad?
I had the caprese salad, and it's set up in like a weird way because I honestly thought that it was just going to be like a bed of lettuce covered in tomatoes. Mozzarella, pesto.
It's fresh mozzarella too.
Balsamic. But it was not. So basically they serve it, and you can see this on the TikTok that didn't transfer to Instagram. You get a bed of lettuce, but it's on the side.
It's like a bed of
it's like
bitter greens. What is it? Kale?
It's kale and spinach, I think. Maybe.
Yeah. So it's like bitter greens. It's not actual lettuce.
Yeah, it's not like your iceberg or romaine or anything like that. And then your tomato and your mozzarella is sliced and layered in like a leaning tower and drizzled in a fuck ton of balsamic vinaigrette and pesto. That pesto has to be house made. It tasted, y'all, I felt like I was eating a garden.
In a really good way.
In a really, really good way. It was the
fresh.
Most fresh thing I think I may have ever eaten.
Like she gave
I
me
literally felt like I walked out into the garden, picked all this stuff, and ate it without cleaning it.
You gave me
Not that it tasted dirty, but
you gave me in a bite, and it was so refreshing.
Oh
it was,
my gosh.
The tomatoes were awesome. The mozzarella was awesome.
The mozzarella was perfect.
The pesto and the balsamic, it just worked perfectly well together.
And the lettuce was so fresh, or not lettuce, but the greens were really fresh.
Yeah.
And not wilted at all.
And I had the Godzilla, which is 2 8-ounce patties with provolone, blue cheese, lettuce, tomato, 2 onion rings.
Oh, 2 onion rings.
Pickles on a baguette that has what's it called? Garlic butter on it.
Yeah, that threw me off a lot.
What?
The baguette with the garlic butter.
The baguette was it's weird.
I felt wrong.
But it is such a good, well-constructed burger. I tried to eat it a couple of times. I can never finish it, and I always leave about the same amount.
He left like half the damn thing. A whole burger patty almost.
No,
almost.
It was less than half a burger patty.
Oh, but only because I took like 2 or 3 bites of it.
That's right. I couldn't have done that by myself, but it's so good.
Mister, you're going to have to finish this if I can't.
Yeah, and
neither one of us did.
Nope. No.
It's really heavy. And especially compared to what I was eating.
Yeah.
It's monstrously heavy.
Yeah,
see what I did there?
I think it's that baguette because it's what?
I said, see what I did there? Monstrously heavy.
It's Godzilla.
That's what he does.
Anyways, if you want to see what those look like, because we didn't get pictures because we're idiots,
TikTok!
go to our TikTok and look up at our latest video. And
anovelconsole.
Yeah, you'll be able to see it there.
You'll be able to see our video that was like viral for us.
Yeah, we're still struggling.
I think we're like 22K views.
Maybe we should
that.
go drink water out of Disney theme parks.
Oh,
Fountains,
please.
like that idiot.
People are so stupid.
Fucking moron.
Anyways,
so what are we rating Teak?
Without a doubt, garbage.
Yes, nothing but
all
garbage.
Day, every day.
Garbage.
Even when they put peanut butter on their burgers.
Even when the service is terrible in Maitland.
Yeah. I don't know. Amazing. I don't know. That one night, I don't think I would have given it a garbage rating. I was very disappointed, but we won't go there.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything against Teak itself.
No, it was the waitress. She sucked. Yeah. Anyways, she's not there anymore.
We're not there anymore. She might be there, but we're not.
All right. So that's it. Garbage for Teak Neighborhood Grill. Amazing place. Please go visit.
You won't regret it.
No, it's so fucking good. So we actually thought this was going to be a short episode, but guess not. I do know I have to do a lot of editing because I noticed a lot of dead air in the beginning.
I'm so sorry. I'm so bad at that.
Yeah, I can't let you off the hook by yourself. Like, I just have to be present the entire time. But you know who doesn't need supervision?
Our Patreon supporters!
There you go. They have signed up to our Patreon for $2 a month. It is patreon.com/anovelconsole. You can do that. You guys will be able to support us, see a couple of funny things we have on there. Well, not really that funny, but, you get to support us. We are doing, again, giveaways. We are going to be posting this week the next giveaway, which is going to be Hades for the Nintendo Switch. We'll let you guys know how to enter, how you can win, how long it's going to be going for. We'll get that squared off. And remember to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at anovelconsole and on Facebook at facebook.com/anovelconsole. Don't forget, you can also tell your friends that they can find the podcast on most major podcast streaming platforms and that they can also listen on YouTube by searching for a Novel Console. Carradine.
Question.
What would we like for the listeners' friends to do when they go to YouTube and see our videos?
Subscribe.
What else?
Like and comment.
Yes. And that way, that'll help us and people can find us more. What should they do on Apple Podcasts and
leave
Google
us a
Podcasts?
review.
So that what?
We can get more exposure.
And more people can listen to us.
Yeah.
And they should also email us at anovelconsole@gmail.com and we will read their email on the show, or maybe not. What else should they send to our email?
Questions, thoughts, anything.
No, regarding the month that's coming up. June.
Oh, Zelda memories.
Yes. So Zelda memories, send us in. We can read them on the show. It'll be a great time. You can, guys, the games that we're going to cover for Zelda month are going to be A Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and then we'll have a regular discussion. And that's going to be fun. So just send us in those memories. And our art was done by Metamorphic A. You can find her on Instagram. The link will be in the show notes. And with that, we end the episode. Anything else you want to say before we end, Karen?
No.
No?
No.
All right. So goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.